This week on What Do You Got? Space Invaders.
Good game.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Tim Fulton.
I'm Andy Smith.
And this is What Do You Got? A little segment where we come to the table with a topic that the other guy doesn't know about, spring on each other, chit-chat about it for a little while. It's Andy's turn. Andy, what do you got?
Space Invaders.
Oh, well, you told us that.
It's about invasive species.
Oh, I have plenty to talk about on this topic.
Okay, I know. And I think one of yours is going to come up. But I was watching, I was following Nature's Metal. I follow that on Instagram. It's a dark.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore.
I'd say like 33%, like a third of their posts are like, whoa. And then like 10% of them are like, I don't want to watch that. I just don't want to watch that. The other is like, okay.
Our scales are different. Your red zone of 10% is like my 50%.
Yeah, there's like certain things that I can't, I just, like I know what's going to happen and I accept it, but I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be a part. I think it's important to witness it at times, but like, you know, when I'm checking it, I'm like, I don't need that in my brain right now in the middle of lunch. I don't need that. But I saw this video, which got me thinking about this.
All right.
It was a video of somebody letting a baby turtle go that they had kept in their house.
Yeah.
And they let it go near the water, and it's crawling in the mud. It's a little guy, little $50 size guy. And this frog like comes out of nowhere and just eats him and jumps back into the pond. Not a big frog, but eats him, jumping into the pond. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. But then I read the caption, and it said, not on my watch. And I was like, huh. So I read the thing, because I usually read them after I watch it. And it was saying that turtle is not native to that area. And that if it was to somehow find another one of those turtles and reproduce, it's a serious problem.
Yeah.
So I started like thinking about all the things that I've heard over the years, and like they always say like Australia is like the worst example of conservation, but it's like always known as like the place to go to see wildlife, which is kind of ironic. But I was thinking about the United States, and I know 4 different species that are like having a big problem in the United States, and I brought up a list that was made in 2015.
Okay.
I think it's 2015. And I just skimmed through it, and I think 2 of the ones that are definitely on here, and then I stopped reading. So the ones that I know are the beetle that destroyed your... Actually, no, 5. The beetle that destroyed your trees near your house.
Those little bastards.
The lamp fly, I just know that from work because it's like this invasive species. Pythons.
Really?
Boars. Wild boars. I think it's called a spearhead or something fish. It's like a Japanese or Chinese fish.
Oh.
And then, what was the other one? There's one more. I forget what it is. But anyway, so
real quick, while you're talking about this, my buddy James, who I'm going to try to tag in on this, he's big into like the wildlife shit, and he and I have talked about this kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
Because he's a liberal hippie running through the woods frolicking, and that's like his job. That's literally what he does in life. Like he rips out invasive plants.
Yeah. One by one.
Well,
does he have like a Samuel L. Jackson Pulp Fiction quote every time he does it? And I will strike fear and vengeance upon thee.
He immediately starts speaking Latin, and
whoa, we went a totally different direction.
I'm thinking like summoning. No, but so there's a difference between invasive species and non-native species.
Mm-hmm.
Invasive, just for the general public, is a non-native species that does exceptionally well and has no
natural predator
or limit to it, and
it's detrimental to the environment that it lives in.
Yeah, and so like
the ecosystem. Sorry,
like bamboo is a big one over here because people always get bamboo and they're like, "Oh, bamboo's great. It's gonna look so pretty," and then they put in one stalk and then their entire yard is bamboo because it grows so friggin' rapidly and there's nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
So that's like a plant one, but going to those Japanese beetle, I don't know if you want to like.
Oh, we're gonna go through. Yeah, but you know how you fix the bamboo problem? Just bring bears over. Just bring the pandas.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that
Delete
in
the
a second,
ban.
too.
Yeah. So no, but what I was thinking about was that a lot of these invasive species, we can only somehow like minimally grasp how detrimental they are to the ecosystem because it takes years almost sometimes for the effects to be felt.
Yeah.
And it could be it could not just only be like a introducing, it could also be removing of a natural species.
Yeah.
Like taking wolves away or whatever, and then, the herding animals overpopulate and whatever. But I was thinking about, we only really give a shit, people in general, because our lives are busy, about it directly affecting us. And so people are like, oh, there's, like boars are everywhere down south. You got to just kill them. And people are like, no, you can't. It's like, well, they're fucking they're literally causing millions of dollars of damage. And then also like a lot of things are dying because of them. Like they eat baby deer.
Yeah.
Like it's creepy, but we don't give a shit. And I was thinking, like, what if all of a sudden, snap your fingers, and like tigers were as populated here as deer? We would kill every fucking tiger. Could you imagine going to take your garbage out and just like, you'd be like, no, they're all dead. They're all dead. All of them. I want to use my pool. All right. Fuck them. Like, it's because it affects us.
You would still have some weird ass people being like, save the tigers.
Yeah, just let them outside.
Yeah.
Just tell them they're not allowed to sleep inside for a week.
Yeah.
They'll either change their mind or they'll be gone.
You would be a dictator. But continue.
That's it. I'm just saying. Like, I love tigers. Not in my backyard, though. Not in my backyard. So, I'm just got this one. I tried to find one with like a short synopsis on each animal.
Yeah.
So let's go with Burmese pythons. And I believe that I didn't read this yet, but just from knowing useless information, this issue came about, I believe, originally in Florida because people were letting them go as from pets. So it says, these long, lean eating machines are terrorizing in the Florida Everglades. Humans don't have much fear, but native animals had a better watch their backs. Alligators are being knocked out of their perch as swamp top predators. People ask why these snakes are such a problem. Why can't experienced hunters walk in the Everglades and kill them? Burmese pythons from Southeast Asia are so stealthy that even experts with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission have a tough time spotting them, let alone killing them. Since they were determined to be established and put the squeeze on the swamp in 2002, deer, raccoon, marsh rabbits, bobcats, opossums have declined as much as 99% in some cases, according to research for the U.S. Geological Survey. 99%. If you're rabbit, deer, raccoon, marsh, bobcat, you're like, fuck pythons. Kill them all.
Kill them all.
Boots. Make all the boots you want.
Kill them all.
Shit kickers to galore. Just, yeah, 99%. I'm sure that's like an extreme version, but at the same time, they don't really have any natural predators down there. And when snakes have babies, they have a shitload of babies.
So the only way they're going to die out is if they starve.
Yeah, they kill the fuck out of alligators too.
Yeah.
And like this is the other thing that's weird. Like, and this is what I didn't think about, like going into like thinking about this shit, is if you put a bobcat, a big bobcat, like they can kill a full-grown deer if they're hungry enough. But the weird thing about how this works is that because they're not used to having snakes as a predator, they don't know how to get away from them.
Yeah.
It's not in their brain to see them, and it's not in their brain to know how to fight them. Like mongooses and shit can kill cobras, but it's because they've grown up around them.
Yeah.
Like bobcats are like, I know what fucking big predators that want to kill me look like. That ain't one of them. That looks like a log. It's a murder noodle.
I'm going to take this back to a happy place real fast. There is an island off of Africa, and I forget what kind of animal it is.
Madagascar.
No.
Oh.
No, not that big of an island.
Okay.
But it's home to, I forget what species it is. Oh, it's going to bother me. It's like this little, not a mongoose thing, but like, imagine like a little gopher.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is, but it's something like a little gopher. They have no predator on that island, and so they don't know fear. They don't know, like, if you go to the island and you just walk around, they'll just come up to you and be like, what are you? Hello.
Isn't that...
Let's be best friends.
Isn't that insane how, like... It's nothing that they learn. It's all from years of just like things want to kill you. Everything wants to kill you. Like deer, like, holy shit. Did you hear that, bro? What the fuck was that? Let's get the fuck out of here. Bear, like, whatever.
Boom.
Whatever. What's around here that can fuck with me? A car?
Yeah.
I'm not on a road, bitch.
I was camping with friends once and I saw a bear. He was close. He was probably like 20, 30 feet away.
Uh-huh.
And he was just like nosing about. So I go, hey. And he looks at me and he just has like, you could just see him be like, all right. And like he slowly just meanders away. Like,
yeah. Like, and that was polite of him.
Yeah.
If he wanted to be like, fuck you, what's up? You'd be like, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's up.
Nothing's up.
I'll go back in my car.
We were in the middle of the woods.
I'll go back into the other part of the woods where you are not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's crazy how like instinctually animals that aren't used to them are just like, I guess I die because I don't know what this is. And I can't talk to my kids about it. Like drugs. All right. Emerald ash borer. Is this what yours is?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's what I thought it was. That's what that little motherfucker looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, this bug marched across the Midwest is not the kind of green movement that conserves nature. It ruins ash trees that provide durable wood for use of flooring, bowling alleys, church pews, baseball bats, and electric guitars. So we're essentially saying, like, you're not allowed to kill the trees, bugs. People have to kill the trees because we got to make shit out of them. It's essentially all that said. The bugs sparkle like a jewel with their glittery hide, but the nickel-sized holes they bore in the trees are ugly, and they squiggle their tails. Wait, they squiggle trails.
The squiggly trails their larva etch on the bark can make your skin crawl. So if you you'll see little holes on the trees.
Okay.
Next time you're by my house, I'll show you.
Yeah.
If you dig into the bark, you'll see the larvae because they eat the bark. So you see them running through the trees.
Light that on fire.
You don't see them because by the time you know that they're there, it's too late. They're already gone.
Fire. Still light it on fire.
But you see, like, imagine like someone just eating their way through a giant pool of Jello, and you can see the.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, it's disgusting.
They arrived in southeastern Michigan in 2002 in their native habitats in Russia. Fucking Russians, Chinese in Japan.
Yeah. So this was 2015 that this post was written. So now the emerald ash beetles are no longer just in the Midwest; they are rampant in the Northeast, and all the ash trees in their path die. There are if you look out into the woods, you'll see tons of trees just completely bare.
Little fuckers. What happens when those trees die?
They fall.
No.
They die.
What happens to these little fucks?
Oh, then they're going to be a problem.
What do they eat besides ash?
Nothing. So they'll starve themselves out. But the problem is that you're of millions of trees in the woods that are going to die.
They got to start harvesting ash seeds.
That's not even a joke. So it's funny because my neighbor was telling me about the baseball bat thing. They only make baseball bats out of ash trees, and the emerald beetles just got here. So there's like this big push to like apparently there's a big manufacturing of baseball.
So let's cut more trees down so there's
no.
Okay.
No, so they're protecting it.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I imagine like an armed guard shooting every beetle that comes within like.
It's gonna need buckshot.
Yeah. But yeah, those are little bastards.
Yeah, but it's crazy how most people never even heard of this. I know about it because of you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Dude, when the larvae hatch, they pop the bark out. I'm telling this really for the audience, because I know you know this, but they pop the bark out of the tree. So you don't know that they're there until you look and your tree is bare.
It looks like somebody put like a different coat of paint on your tree on one side.
There was so much bark. I had 4 trees in my yard that died from those little bastards. There was so much bark, I would take buckets, like construction buckets. I had to have taken like 15, 20 buckets across the street and it would empty them out. That's how much bark was in my property.
Bastards.
And it happens like overnight. Fuckers.
Almost looks like Jiminy Cricket. Just need a little hat and a cane.
He does look like Jim. He would be a pretty bug if it was.
Little lapel, some little grappler's tape around his wrists.
You know who's happy? My woodpecker.
Ooh. Yeah, you got to get a lot more woodpeckers. Well, they're gone now. All your trees are dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think there's one that still has some in there because I see the woodpecker at it all the time, and he's like, yo, this is dope.
This is dope. All right, next on the list, the nutria. That's them big rat-looking things.
He's kind of cute for a big rat.
The official name comes off like some kind of vitamin drink. So Louisianians, how do you say that?
Louisiana. Southern people.
People from Louisiana came up with another name that sounds more fitting. Swamp rats. You got that swamp rat down there, boy. Nutria don't look just like rats with long tails and orange buck teeth. They breed like them. Female nutria give birth to litters up to 14, then go back into heat 2 days later. Federal wildlife officials say there is no hope for eradicating them from Louisiana. They were imported from South America for their fur in the 1930s and grew out of control after being released when the industry died. The Chesapeake Nutria Eradication Program is working furiously to push them off the Delmarva Peninsula and wipe them out in Maryland and Delaware. Their endless digging on the banks of rivers rips up plants by the root, causing soil to erode, destroying native habitats for everything from muskrats to crabs to juvenile fish. You know what you need? Jaguars. That's what we need. You bring in a super herbivore, you bring in a super predator to kill him. European starling.
That's a pretty bird.
It's a bird with some big feet.
Big feet.
Damn. Must be packing. Starlings are little birds that travel in huge packs. They are known for wreaking havoc. Birders, I'm reading like a fucking idiot because I am an idiot. Birders don't like it, but starlings are generally regarded as pests. Every year, the Agricultural Department's Division of Wildlife Service kills 4 million animals identified by residents across the country as nuisance, and starlings are targeted the most by far. Moving in flocks that resemble small black clouds, they descend on cities, towns, mostly farms, beaks aimed at the ground in search of food. Starlings are known to swarm towards feeding cattle to steal their food, needling and harassing the bigger animals until they fucking scare cows away. Since their introduction in the United States by Shakespeare enthusiasts in the 1890s, they have become arguably the most successful foraging bird in the country with a population of 200 million.
That's crazy.
Those are those like big sweeping things that look like Sauron is sending some spies or something. This is the one I was talking about, the northern snakehead.
Ooh.
So this fish is what would you say it looks like? Like a pike mixed with a snake?
I'm going to say he's more eel-like than snake-like.
Yeah, kind of eel-y.
Yeah, he's kind of eel-y.
Yeah, okay. So it's called the snakehead. The dreaded name pretty much sums up the most feared fish in the Chesapeake Bay watershed. A sharp-toothed monster so scary that fish tournaments are held to not eat or fight on it on the line. What? But solely to kill it. So they just have fishing tournaments just to kill this thing.
Yep.
Snakeheads looks some weird cross between a python and an electric eel. They were pretty close.
Yeah.
And attempts to get large numbers of people to fish and eat it so that snakeheads don't eat too many other creatures in the astray. What is that?
I'm buying you hooked on phonics.
Dude, you're buying me hooked on phonics. I can't, yeah.
Stories about how this fish from China and Korea ended up in the bay in the early 2000s vary. Some say a clueless aquarium dumped several in...
Tributary.
Damn it, now I'm thinking.
Others say someone carried them from a fish market. Whatever happened, female snakeheads, which are baby factories to known to carry up to 100,000 eggs, took it from there and is now spread to Delaware and Virginia. I heard a conspiracy theory from like not a totally crazy person that they were released on purpose by another government to fuck up certain industries where they live.
I can see people doing that. Because how would you ever track that?
You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
And nothing kills them.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones I knew about. They have zero predators where they live. So they just fuck everything up.
Just screw everything.
And fish eat smaller fish.
Yeah.
So the brown marmorated stink bug. These fuckers are everywhere. Here's a quick thought in 10 words. A stink bug is probably in your house right now. Cool. They don't seem to mind that they're in there. They just need a place to rest throughout the winter and crawl out in the spring to mate and make millions more stink bugs. Stink bugs are annoying because they swarm and smell like cilantro. Okay. But they don't bite or carry disease. They're not to be confused with the growing swarm of Asian kudzu. How do you say that?
Wait, where?
Kudzu.
Kudzu.
Kudzu bugs in Georgia, although their behaviors are similar. Stink bugs destroy fruits, vegetables, and drive up product prices. They first showed up in Allentown, PA, in 1998 after crawling out of a cargo ship that probably stopped in China. Why the fuck is everything coming from China?
It's always China.
Fucking China. Their native land. There, stink bugs aren't a problem because small wasps lay their eggs on their backs and the babies use them as a meal as they grow. With no let's not fucking introduce wasps.
No, we're
now.
not doing that. So that's funny. I never knew that they weren't native. I mean,
I've always seen them as kids, but then again, like 1998 is like right when we started making memories that are like
long-term memories.
Yeah, like semi-reliable memories. Yeah. Feral hogs. They have razor-sharp teeth,
Like
curling tusks, and are so hot-tempered that they charge humans. Otherwise, feral hogs, wild pigs, or boars are just farm pigs gone wild. They are established in 47 states with massive populations in Texas, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and a growing one in Virginia. In most of those places, experienced hunters have a green light to shoot them on sight. Here's why. They cause about $1.5 billion in damages nationwide each year. They're also an ecological nightmare that eats turtle eggs, wild turkey eggs, quail that nest on the ground. Acorns and chestnuts are the next generation of trees that go into their stomachs. Feral pigs were introduced to the United States from ships centuries ago, but the recent population boom, a state game official and biologists say, is largely the fault of the hunters who imported wild pigs to hunt year-round.
A lot of people you know how much we have to hunt here? Who in their right mind was like, I'm going to bring wild boars from across the river, across the sea, so I can let them loose, so I can hunt them.
You know what's fucked up, though? You think of buffalo. I believe at one point in time, they got the buffalo population down to just a few thousand.
Yeah.
Or a few hundred, maybe. That's insane.
Yeah.
Because it used to be like millions.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are apparently like super. They're like the coyotes of the prey world, I guess. But you know what's also really weird about pigs? You might know this. You used to have farm animals. If you take a regular, like a farm pig, and you let it into the woods, it will become a boar, no matter how old it is.
Oh, I did not know that.
If you let them out into the wild, the only thing that keeps them pink and hairless is the fact that they're contained in a specific space.
Huh.
So if you let them out into the woods, within I think it's a couple days, their genetics change. They start to grow long, coarse, wiry hair, and their teeth will grow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I heard a story about a cow out in the Midwest who got out and they couldn't find her for a long time, and then someone found her. She went up with the fuck you were just talking about, buffalo.
Oh.
She found her to buffalo.
And
She's substantially smaller.
Yeah.
She stands on the outside of the buffalo, but they're like, they don't mind she's here.
Yeah, because they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck.
They're not afraid of anything.
Yeah, and she was just like,
except wolves and bears.
All right, guys, I'm a chill with you. Is that all right?
I look a lot like you. Not really, but close enough.
The weird thing about that, they said that they're nervous for her because apparently they're close enough in species where they can mate.
Oh.
But they were like, but it won't end well because she's like half their size.
So she needs like the Steve Jobs or like the what's his name? Microsoft guy. Bill Gates. She needs like the Bill Gates of Buffalo to bang her. Like the weak, feeble-minded, or not feeble-minded, feeble-bodied.
The smaller. Yeah, they said like if she has a kid, it's just gonna rip her apart.
What if it's like half size? What if her body won't allow?
I don't know.
Stop judging them. Let her live her life.
judge
Let her live her little
me.
cow life. If you're so worried, take her to a farm.
And she ran away from the farm.
Jesus
She
Christ.
wants to be a buffalo.
She probably. What the fuck? Oh, those are those things that people pay a lot of money for.
Yeah.
Lionfish. All right, we're gonna stop after lionfish, and we'll go over these next week. Lionfish are very pretty. That ends the positive vibrations that the marine biologists give this animal. They are exotic gluttons that eat everything they can stuff into their mouths, and they are destroying life on the coral reef that serves as a habitat. See, how do you keep things from the ocean to go into the ocean? Like, it's all connected, right?
Yeah, but things don't really travel.
Yeah, but like
They do, but they don't.
I guess it's the same thing. Like, it didn't like swim from the Pacific over to like the Atlantic.
Yeah.
I guess. That's how they earned the name Norway rats of the Atlantic. The lionfish are native to the Pacific Ocean, but they were wildly traded for their looks and were the first spotted near Miami in the mid-1980s before proliferating into the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic and the Caribbean near the turn of the century. Yeah, they're like venomous, right? Poisonous?
I have no idea, but I would believe it.
Yeah, pretty sure their barbs are poisonous. They look like...
It looks like a tub of monsters.
Yeah, it looks like monsters.
Yeah.
Like, they look cool in the water, but when they're stuffed up like that, dead. Look at this guy. He's like, fuck, water.
Please, a little water.
Yeah, so we can cover the rest of these next week, because this is an interesting topic. I feel proud of myself.
So for the people out there who want to read up on this themselves, we found this article at the Washington Post. It's a 2015 article. So if you want to actually read it as opposed to listen to us drag on
And fuck it up.
and screw it up painfully.
Bad.
There you go. Let us know what your favorite invasive species is in the comment section down. Actually, last story. So I might have told you this before, but in Hawaii had a problem. So this is why these things are difficult to fix. So I believe there was a type of, I think it was a type of mouse that they brought over into Hawaii, and someone let it go. Didn't have any natural predators, so it started breeding like crazy, and it became like a big problem in Hawaii. So some smart guy out there said, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get a mongoose. No. We're gonna get snakes, and we're gonna release the snakes, and the snakes will eat the rats. And then they did. But the problem that they didn't really think through was that the rats are nocturnal and the snakes weren't. So they never bumped into each other. So the snakes started eating up everything else, and now they had a snake problem and a mouse problem. So then they were like, all right, we need to deal with this snake problem. So now we're going to bring in some mongoose, because the mongoose will eat the snakes. But the thing that they didn't think through is that the mongoose were nocturnal. And
So they didn't. So they knew like what happened. They didn't bother to check.
They didn't bother to check. So, and same exact thing happened. Mongoose started tearing everything apart in Hawaii, and they just never bumped into the snakes. So now they had a rat
But
problem.
they probably killed the rats.
A snake problem. I don't know. And a mongoose problem. And they're like, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to stop trying, because we just keep making it worse. And do you know how I know this? Pokemon. Because there is a spot in that game. They like make areas based off of real life places.
Yeah.
So one of them is Hawaii. One of the games is based off Hawaii, and they actually have little Pokemon based on all of the fucking.
Oh, okay.
And I read something on it. I was like, "Is that true?" So I looked it up, and I was like, "Motherfucker!"
They must have read the first chapter of Australian conservation, because that's what happened in Australia with rabbits. I think somebody brought rabbits. They brought 2 or 4 rabbits there, and within like 10 years, there was a couple 100 million or something like that, because rabbits like to multiply.
That's all they do.
So then I think they brought in house cats, because there was nothing, like all the rabbits did was they were like, just don't go in the middle of the continent. Just stay on the outside. Everything that kills you in the middle. So they just stayed on the outside.
And they're right.
So then they brought in house cats, domestic house cats. And they were like, oh yeah, we kill the fuck out of rabbits, but we also make a lot of house cats. They actually hunt house cats like we hunt deer. There's magazines, like, you know, people like hold the buck. There's people like holding up like little Geppetto. Like, yeah, got this fucker. And it's totally normal.
Well, that's because cats are little monsters.
They are murderous fucks.
They're
but they're very cute.
They're so cute. They're so adorable. All they want to do is kill things.
If they were bigger, we'd be fucked.
But we are perfectly sized for them.
Yeah. They are just big enough to where like they're they'll get ballsy sometimes,
Yeah.
but they'll never, because all you got to do is just like remind them like, oh, I'm very much bigger than you are. Like
I'm substantially bigger.
I'm substantially like to the point where like I could be asleep for a while with you attacking me and like still manage to end it quickly.
My cat started doing this thing. You know how they do the kneading thing? Where
Yeah.
They go one foot after another. He does it, and then he introduces a little bit of claw. Not a lot. Like, enough where it's annoying and not painful, but I look at him, I'm just like, bro, what's that? What are you doing?
That's a weird.
No.
That's like a weird one because like that's like a sign that they're relaxing.
Yeah.
If they're doing it slow, not if they're like fucking freaky.
No, it's slow, like kneading stuff.
Yeah, because that's what they do when they're feeding. I think.
Really?
Yeah, because I think they like push on their mom's stomach when they feed.
That's kind of adorable.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
That's
it. Something, comment section down below. Something, brodownpro.com. Something. We'll catch you guys next time.
Later.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day.